Missing 14-year-old boy found dead in Illinois. Friend of victim's father accused of murder. A missing teen in Illinois was found dead. Now a friend of the victim's father faces first-degree murder charges. On July 29th, 14-year-old Stephen Butler III was reported missing by his father, according to Champaign police. The father reported the boy missing around 7:30 p.m. after he left the home around 5 p.m. Police searched the neighborhood but could not find the boy. The next morning, two bicyclists found remains around 7 a.m. Remains were identified as Butler, according to Champaign police. Police and the Champaign County Sheriff's Office investigation and identified Daryl Van Dyke, 55, as a person of interest. He was arrested a few hours after the teen was found. Authorities said they found a potential crime scene and investigated the home, but officers did not detail a possible motive for the killing. Van Dyke was a friend of Butler's father, according to the News Gazette. Officials also told the news organization that the teen died from blunt force trauma. Champaign police charged Van Dyke with first-degree murder, and he is being held in jail on a $2 million bond. Police continue to investigate the killing of anyone with information is asked to contact Champaign police. All right, now, fishy story. It's an unfortunate story. You have a young 14-year-old boy dead, dismembered, so it's an unfortunate situation. But I got a few questions I need to, get the answers to before, I can come to a conclusion, I want to welcome everybody back from, to AG's point of view, where I give you my analysis on some of the weirdest stories, but yet popular in the world today. All right, so we have a gentleman, two friends, okay, two adult friends, and they both have children. The children hang out, it's a pretty normal situation. You see it all the time. But now we got a young fella, Stephen Butler III, which is now dead, and we have questions that need to be answered. The first question I have is, the father reported the boy missing around 7:30 p.m. after he left the home at about 5 p.m. Okay, so he left the house at 5 o'clock, okay? And then you report him missing at 7:30. He's 14 years old. He might have been out riding his bike with his friends. Why are you reporting him missing? Is it something that you know? What seems to be going on with that story? I'm not saying the father is charged for it, because the kid probably did leave and he probably had nothing to do with it. But it could have been and the guy that they have in custody could be the one that actually did it. But what will make you call the police 2.5 hours later and say, hey, my son is missing? Well, my daughter goes to the store. Like, I can understand if he told him to go to the store, told him to come right back. He didn't come right back. He said, I need you here. And the kid didn't show back up. Now, what I would have done, I wouldn't have reported him missing right away. I might have went out looking for him. And then maybe around 10 o'clock, I might have reported him missing because he's not back. But 7:30, that's kind of quick. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they had an argument. I don't know if, it could have been a disagreement between the father and the son. Who knows? I mean, anything could have came up. You know what I mean? It could have been a disagreement with the two fathers, and they could have had some issues, and they could have been, who knows, if Stephen Butler could have been a bad kid, could have been a bad influence on this guy's son. I mean, who knows? I don't know. We don't know what's going on. That's why I said some questions that need to be answered. But, I'm not here to, push the narrative of, that the father of the other child is definitely the one, and we just keep pushing that narrative until, just do is done, you know, you got to go through a trial and all that, so you got to find that out. But it's unfortunate that this kid is dead. But I mean, this guy 55 years old. Why would you want to kill a teenager? He's 55 years old. Why would you want to forego the rest of the years in your life, you know, moving forward, to spend basically the rest of your life? He don't even have to give you life in prison. They can just give you 20 years in prison. You know what I mean? And you'd be 75 years old. I mean, you may die in prison. I mean, so I just think it's kind of strange. The story is a little strange because, you know, just looking at the facts they're giving out, there's no motive. There's no reason why you're doing it. In my humble opinion, I just think that the kid might have been one of them little wise guys. You know, may not have been one of the best kids, you know, because sometimes kids around that age, you know, they're a little snappy with it. They're a little sharp, you know what I mean, with the lips and all that. You know, he might have said something that you know, that Daryl didn't like, and he was like, okay, all right, I got you. And he might have kept mouthing off at the guy. You know what I mean? Going back and forth. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. You ain't my dad, you know, things of that nature. Or, you know, might have used some cuss words. So, I don't know, man. It's sad that he's gone. I mean, like I said, I used to work with a lot of at-risk youth, and it wasn't an easy thing to do. I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I did it for over 10 years, and it wasn't the most easiest thing to do. It really wasn't. It was one of those situations where you're dealing with kids and around that age, and you're not related to them, you're not their family members. They feel like they can say anything they want to say, do whatever they want to do. Who are you to stop them? You know what I mean? But, I mean, you know, you just got to muster up some type of, you know, patience and, you know, try to, like, talk them through it. You know what I'm saying? Walk them through it. You know, and it also stretches your patience as well. So, yeah, this is crazy. I mean, the ironic thing is, the very next morning, the two bicyclists found the remains of the body around 7 a.m. So what they leave in broad daylight? They riding a bike. They must have just dumped it off on the side, and then they found the remains of it. So you didn't cover it up, because like most of the time, if you ride through the park and you're on your bike, you're not gonna just see a bag over there and just stop, just go look in it, sniff it, smell it. You don't know what's going on. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of questions to be asked. I mean, you know, how they find it, how they know it was gonna be a body, how they know, you know, and then they called the police, and the police came and found the remains, but the very next morning. So, I mean, he must have just, you know, could have just did the kid in and just left him right there, and nobody really comes to that area. Might have covered him up overnight, you know, and just the cover might have came off, and you saw the body, and, you know, it went from there. So, yeah, it's a crazy situation. But, you know, for Mr. Van Dyke to be 55 years old, and you just blunt force trauma, I mean, it would seem to me that, you know, he doesn't seem, I mean, I'm looking at the guy, I don't know. I mean, you can't really judge a person by their picture, but he doesn't seem to be a mean guy. I mean, you know, you're an older guy. I mean, you're 55 years old. You got some sort of wisdom. You made it this far. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you gotta know something. So, you know what I mean? You gotta have some sort of patience, something on your side, you know, that you have to get through. But why would you want to forego all that, you know, to get a first degree murder charge placed on you? So, I don't know, man. The story's crazy. And then they hold him on $2 million bond because he, you know, for the killing of the kid and everything. But now the ironic thing is, they're still investigating the killing, and now the police is asking for any more information. You know, can you please help us out with the information? Because they don't even know if the guy's doing it. They just got a guy in custody, and they just like, you know, and it's not guaranteed that he's the guy. He may not be the guy. He could have happened, been in the situation. He could have been there, and some other kid could have did it. You know what I mean? Or somebody else that might have been with him could have did it. And they just come into his house saying that he did it. Because it's not like Steven could come back and say, hey, listen, you know, he's the guy that did it. Steven's dead. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we don't know. We don't know if any people was around, anybody seen anything. So, it's unfortunate, but let's just hope that, you know, in the coming days, in the coming weeks, that they, you know, come up with a verdict and really figure out who did what with this case, because it's definitely sad. I mean, you know, father lost a son. I can only imagine, brother. You know what I mean? So, you know, my prayers go out to him. You know, prayers go out to the family of Stephen Butler III. And, you know, I hope they find, you know, who really did it and what's going on and put this case behind them and get some closure. So, you know, if you like what you heard from me, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below. Hit that like button as well. I drop a video like this every day. So click the notification bell so that you can stay in the loop. I'd like to thank you guys for spending your time with me. You know, listen to this video. You know, if you have any questions or concerns, please leave them down below. Let me know who you think did this. Do you think that Daryl Van Dyke actually was the one that did it? You know, just leave a comment down below. You know what I mean? And just let me know. You know, I definitely appreciate it. So with that being said, I thank y'all. You know, I love y'all. Peace.